Welcome to the Early Night Show with Anvay Pramanik.
Well, hello there. Tonight, the lights are off in my room. The studio is shrouded in the darkness of the night. It's around 11:30 in the PM right now as we step into the weekend in Bengaluru. And that the studio is completely shrouded in darkness means it's good news. Means I have no script and I'm going to freestyle a lot of the things that I'm going to say today. That's awesome. Today's topic, it's not going to be very intense, but it's going to be a celebration. We're stepping into season 2 very soon. And I wouldn't have even imagined a month ago that we would be stepping in so soon. We'd have 25 stories ready already and people already wanting to come here and share their stories. First part I wasn't really skeptical about. The second part I was. Feels amazing to know that the people that I wanted to connect with want to connect back on this. I think for me, doing this podcast, I've spoken about this at length in a previous episode about what my manifesto is with this podcast. So I'm not going to repeat that, but I think I'm just going to sum it up saying I want this podcast to be something of my own that I can use to build my life's ambition of having conversations with everyone, people from all across the world, across various spheres, various professions, various lifestyles, various psychologies, and try to figure out, even though we human beings are so uniquely different, you and I, you who's listening to this right now and me who's speaking, we're so uniquely different, but at the same time, we're so uniquely similar. We have a few common threads, common patterns that tie in all of... Apologies, I just yawned right now. Really tired today. Anyways, like I was saying, I very strongly believe in this concept of the collective human consciousness, and I believe I want to figure that out. What is it that we have collectively as part of our subconscious? Not conscious, collective human subconscious. So for those of you who know, those of you who don't know, season 2 is going to be conversations with me and different guests. It's going to be 25 episodes of conversation. Same thing that I do alone, but this time with people. Talking about life stories, life lessons, feelings, emotions, thought processes, insights, dreams, beliefs, all of those things. In fact, I thought it would be just as simple as me telling my friends that, hey, come out Zoom at 8 o'clock, we'll sit, we'll do this, we'll talk, we'll see how it goes. But I realize as I'm stepping into season 2, it's time for me to up the game in terms of making this into a more serious entity, in terms of me treating this as if it were a world-class podcast, so that I can start treating it like that from now itself. And one of the things that I realize I need to start doing for that, or one of the first things that I realize I need to start doing for that, is to try and put structures and systems in place and processes that I can kind of start falling back on now that I'm going to be stepping into season 2, and then the kind of you who's tuning in is going to be listening to so much more in terms of content, in terms of conversations, in terms of insights with other people joining in. So just today, I sat and created like a manifesto, like a guidelines, like a structure, like a roadmap for people who would be joining in. Initially, I started writing bullet points, but then the moment I started, fleshing it out, it became a very official looking document. And I was smiling at the end of it. I was like, wow, it feels so great to have your own first official document of a business or an entity that you've created for yourself. Not something where not something like my day job where I'm a manager on a very high level in someone else's business, but this is something of my own. So it felt great. I felt like a CEO today. It felt really nice. So that was great. It felt really, really good. Like 6-pager document with it was like an NDA type, really nice one. Now I want to start stepping up my content game in terms of I've created season 1 of 25 episodes. Want to promote season 1 very strongly on social media and make sure that other people like you who have similar thoughts like you and I join this small community of ours and we all do this thing together. I think I've told you this that every time I do this I visualize you sitting in front of me as an audience, and I really want that to happen someday. So the premise of me doing this with my guests is going to be the same. I'm going to invite them, we're going to chill, we're going to relax, and we're going to unwind together with conversations on this podcast. I almost think it's going to be the last thing that they're going to be doing in that day. Like, I want this podcast to be so energetic, so exhaustive in terms of the effort that I want them to put in, because that's the effort I put in myself, that they should be like, wow, I'm tired now. I'm really, really exhausted. May sound very mean or weird when I say it like that, but I really, really mean it. I believe that I've always believed that communities, right? Human communities, this is how we are supposed to celebrate together. Like in the morning, the people who need to go out and work in the farms or work out and create will create. The people who need to sustain will need to help sustain. So this is, what is primarily divided between husband-wife roles right now in domestic marriages, where the husband goes out and creates and the wife sustains the home. And then in the evening, taking away this husband-wife thing, in the evenings, these two, the creator and the sustainer, they come together. The entire community comes together. Everyone feasts, they dance under the sky. There's a bonfire. Everyone eats together every day. Every single day is a celebration, and that's how I want it to be for me and my community as well, where every day almost we get together and we celebrate, even if it's a small celebration of just sitting together and having a vada pav in the evening, maybe. As I've got my chai, my brewed leaves handy. It really keeps my throat calm when I have to speak so much. So one of the reasons that I'm able to keep my voice like this continuously is because of this. Yes, it's monotonous to an extent. At the same time, I want it to be like a drone. I want it to be very sleepy. I'm not here trying to raise energy levels. I'm trying to bring down the energy levels. I'm trying to make them ground. I want to bring down the energy levels to the lowest possible. Just before you sleep, the moment before you just sleep and the moment before you lose your consciousness is like, it's known as the twilight zone, right? A lot of our thoughts happen at that. Great visions are manifested at that point of time. So I want to play around with that. That's why I said, right, the room is dark tonight. The studio is dark. And the reason that is because I'm able to manifest that kind of a space right now. The vision. I've got my eyes closed and I'm envisioning everything that I'm saying. So coming back to season 2, this is going to be a fantastic time for us. I'm telling you guys. We're going to look back at this 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and be like, wow, we were season 2 then. Now we are season 20 maybe. And like I said, as important as it is to not get flustered and get caught up in the future, it's good to know where you're taking this, where I'm taking this, and I've always kept that in mind. Like imagine I want to literally have a suitcase which has all my podcast stuff and another suitcase which has my clothes, and use those two to travel around the world interviewing different people. And I'm going to make that happen starting with season 2, where we're going to start interviewing close friends, close associates in and around the city, in and around the country, maybe even some people outside the country. I honestly believe, again, coming to this podcast and why these people are coming, I've sold this to them like this, saying that, like we all are like planets. In essence, we are like planets. In the orbit of our planet, we have various moons, and these various moons are our different personality attributes, things that define our ego. Like I do this, I am this, my skills are like this, my beliefs are this, I have this profession, I react like this to this, I am like this, these are my beliefs, this is how I do all those things. Those are all the things in orbit to the planet. At the end of the day, the planet it's stardust, right? It's cosmic energy, it's cosmic resonance, it's the soul, it's the essence of the soul. And that planet's soul, that individual soul, is what I want to have conversations with my guests about on my podcast in season 2. Take away completely the orbits, the planets in the orbits, take away all of those things, just keep them aside for a while and talk about the planet, the essence, the inside, the core, the soul. So yeah, as soon as I woke up today, I called up 2 of my associates, 2 of my friends, 2 some people very close to me, and I told them, I need to do this with you. They said, yeah, let's do it. That's when, the whole manifesto writing thing came, which like I said earlier, I took up a little seriously, and it came out well. And I really look forward to seeing where this entity, Anvay Pramanik's Early Night Show, will be in 3-4 years from now. 1 year, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 8 years from now, 10 years from now. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I mean, the future is so beautiful. I mean, you watch Star Wars, right? You've seen how the Jedi Council is in Star Wars and how you have these holograms projecting. I can't wait for technology like that to do these podcasts. Like I could be anywhere, talking to people anywhere, and feel like they're right next to me. That would be fuck. Another sip of my beautiful, beautiful brew. This is good, unscripted video. I've just turned on the light of my laptop right now. Come back to this out of my vision state into this reality state. I'm going to do a podcast just about that state of visions and hallucinations that I have. It's brilliant, it's a scarily brilliant place to go. Tomorrow is round number 8 of IRC. Even IRC's reached round number 8, so I'm really happy with that. We're going to be going around the streets of Baku, and I'm going to be doing some live commentary for that. So apart from that, I'm looking forward to the next few episodes as we come to the conclusion of season 1. As you all know, season 1 finale is going to be the super special Come On Baby Light My Fire episode 2, which a lot of you have been asking for. So don't worry, I've not forgotten. No one has forgotten. That episode is going to be the season finale. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. I'm super delighted. I mean, I'm enthralled that I've not done that episode yet. And there's still so many episodes I've yet to do. So yeah. to the city, to the people out there, to the people tuning in. Thank you so much. I really want you to enjoy this weekend. We're stepping into the weekend today, right now. I want you to find yourself doing something you usually wouldn't. It would be great. I mean, I'll put in a story of something, right? Like just a few days ago, I had this one moment where I'm like, if I do what my gut is telling me, I'm gonna reap some amazing rewards, and if I don't, if I do, it's gonna make me very uncomfortable, maybe make me lose my ego and my status. But if I don't do it, it'll not affect me, my status, my ego at all. But I will not win anything. I'll be a big loser. I took that risk, and I would say that it's a group of us, a bunch of us involved in this, and I would say that it's benefited all of us with the risk that we have taken. So I'm really happy. I cannot give out more details, but I would like to say that fuck anxiety as a philosophy also will never die. It's always going to be there. It's just that now it's metamorphosized into something less putting myself out there for others to see, and more doing it because I need to come out strong from this situation. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been great having you today. I almost didn't do this podcast because I was so tired. You saw me yawning in the beginning. I was so tired. I was exhausted. But I did it nonetheless, and I'm really happy about that. That's what makes this habit formation thing so amazing, right? I think it's been 18 episodes. By the time 21st episode is done, that's 21 days I've done it. The habit should form, hopefully. Can't wait. Episode 25, episode 26, season 2. Look forward to it. It's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to hear a lot of other people's stories, and you're going to realize that, you know what, it's not just Anvay and me, but it's a bunch of other people confident enough to share their stories with us. I'm looking forward to it. They're looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure having you. From the Pramanik Media Corp studio, this is Anvay Pramanik saying good night, goodbye. Thank you for joining another episode of Anvay Pramanik's Early Night Show. And until I see you again, toodles.